Hello to all you IHB. That's right, we're more than movies, we watch TV too. My name is Dominic Damore, and thank you for tuning in to the second, probably third, judging by the fact we do 2 episodes a week, show you hear all week. We have a great show for you today that includes the latest film news, along with our assorted thoughts and opinions, ranging from insightful to downright obnoxious. This is the I've Had Better Movies podcast. Let's kick it off. James, what's our first story of the day?
All right, the first story is news broke days ago that Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is headed back for reshoots. First reports stated that Disney was not happy with the overly dark tone of the film, resembling too much of a war film, and the reshoots were to inject a bit of humor and make the film feel like more of a Star Wars film. However, reports now say that reshoots were planned all along and they focused on clarity and character development. Dom, which story do you believe?
Yeah, this is a story that's kind of taken the internet and the movie industry by storm because people are freaking out like, oh my god, we have a bad Star Wars movie coming. Prequels! Everybody run for the hills! For the record, I don't think it's that bad. I definitely lean more towards the side of the negative, though. I don't think it's as much of a spin to a positive as people think. Like, I think the Disney executives definitely saw the film or saw what parts of the film were finished and were like, it's a little dark, buddy. Like, let's lighten it up. Because Gareth Edwards is a dark filmmaker. Remember, he's the one who made Godzilla, the remake from only a few years ago. And before that, he had a very indie-heavy feel and only worked on indie movies. So, the other thing that makes me think that these reshoots are definitely bigger than than the studio wants you to believe is Edwards has already said, like, he backed out of the Godzilla 2 that's supposed to come out in a couple years because he said he's done with the big budget films for a while. To me, that screams studio interference, and they're not letting him make the movie that he wants to make, and that is why there's these massive reshoots going on. But on the other hand, I also completely side with Disney in the situation because they haven't screwed up so far, and I will trust Disney over Gareth Edwards every time.
Yeah, that's true.
As much as I like Godzilla, there was a lot of that movie that I had to be like, all right, it's still Godzilla, giant lizard, breathing fire. I like it.
That's a good point. I'm going to go a different direction, and I feel like that they just plan for reshoots. And when it gets leaked out that they're actually doing reshoots, of course, everyone goes straight to the negative. And I don't really know if it's that big of a deal. I think, like you said, Disney's, so far, they haven't steered us wrong. The episode 7 was a really good movie. Mm-hmm. And
I think even that had some reshoots.
Yeah, I just think it's part of what Hollywood does now is they plan for reshoots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard something. I don't remember if I heard it on Collider, Movie Talk, or could have been somewhere else. Just to give credit where credit's due, but I heard that nowadays the way big blockbuster films are made, it's not like the script for this movie was done when the movie started. So if you get a semi-major rewrite in the middle, you're going to have to go back and change things because, spoilers, Han Solo dies in episode 7. Say they didn't have him dying up until a third of the way through shooting. And now they're like, you know what? We got to go back and we got to shoot a couple more scenes with her and Rey. That way we can really drive home that emotional moment. So, I understand what you're saying, and nowadays all major films go through reshoots. For me personally, I do think that Edwards probably had some issues. And for me,
possible.
I wish they wouldn't have done, well, in a way. If it was really messed up, then do it. But I don't want to lose that dark war film type feel.
No, because that's what it is. I mean, it's supposed to be a war. And, I think it would have been okay if they went to this direction.
Yeah, and I'm also not an 11-year-old boy, so bring on the darkness.
That's true. Our age is probably a big factor to this.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that the reshoots are just a smokescreen for something that is really wrong with the film? Or you think, hey, this happens all the time? Let us know in the comment section below on this YouTube video or you can hit us up on Twitter at IHB Podcast. Next up, we have a story we talked about last week when we heard that Tom Hiddleston of Loki fame from the Avengers is being placed in heavy talks to play the martini-drinking spy, James Bond. But something that flew under the radar for the most part is a rumor that if talks fall through with Hiddleston, we could be seeing Jamie Bell star as the backup. What are your thoughts on a possible Bell as Bond?
Well, first, the only way I think Hiddleston backs out of this is if there's a conflict with another thing he's got going on.
Yeah, that's the problem.
He can't commit the time. But, I mean, because it'd be a perfect move for him to play Bond. But back to Jamie Bell. I don't know how I feel about it. He seems too small.
Yeah, that's a good point. He is a short man.
I know, I mean, they can make Tom Cruise look 6'2", but I think everyone knows he's small.
Yeah, and I don't think Daniel Craig is particularly tall either. But,
no, I think he's
I think he's taller than Jamie Bell. Yeah, to comment on what you said earlier about the only reason Hiddleston not doing it is because of scheduling, I think that's the only reason too. Because you also have to remember, when you sign on to be James Bond, you're not signing on for one movie. You're signing on for at least 3.
And all the press of 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge time commitment that I'm sure Daniel Craig wanted nothing to do with.
Yeah,
it's not so much shooting the movie; it's all the extra stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that the man, Craig, literally said he would slit his wrists as opposed to doing another Bond.
Yeah, that's pretty definitive talk for not liking something.
A little bit, like, again, if Craig doesn't want to do it, I want him out because I don't want somebody who doesn't want to be James Bond playing James Bond. And from everything I've heard, Hiddleston wants to be James Bond.
Yep. And then, so Jamie Bell, he hasn't done too many movies. No. So he's got a short list.
Yeah. I liked him in Jumper and Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer was a sneaky good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Man on the Ledge, he was okay.
Mm-hmm. I think his biggest asset is the fact that he's young. He's only 30.
Yeah,
so you could potentially make 10 films with this guy. Not that they're going to do that because I think those days of those Bonds are done. I think he'll get, even with Hiddleston, I think he'll get 4, maybe 5. But at that point,
if he doesn't get tired like Craig. I mean,
yeah. And the fact is that young. But his accent always came off more Irish to me. I mean, I think he's from England.
Yeah,
but,
he is from England.
It always came off as a little bit northern.
I think he can clean that up if he needed to.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
For some reason, the English always have better accents, American accents, or they always are able to play different accents better than we are.
Unless you're Sophie Turner in X-Men, because I hated her American accent. I thought she just stayed British. Yeah, but let us know what you guys thought of the potential. Not that it's going to happen, and to be honest, this is just kind of one of those fun rumor games. Like, what if he was Bond? Kind of an out in left field kind of thing. Let us know what you guys thought. You can comment on our Facebook page. That is the I've Had Better Facebook page. Jim, what do we got next?
Variety has reported that reigning Academy Award winner for Best Actress Brie Larson is in early talks to play Captain Marvel in an upcoming standalone film. The report states that talks are in very early stages, but Larson is Marvel's #1 choice for the role, and the young actress has interest in the role. The Hollywood Reporter added to the story by saying directors Jennifer Kent and Nikki Caro are rumored to direct, but signing the actress is first priority. Take it or leave the potential casting.
I'm all in on this. I think Brie Larson is a great choice. She's a great actress. I would love to have her cast as Captain Marvel. I know you're not semi familiar with the character. We talked about her in the past.
I know enough.
Yeah. But Captain Marvel is a name worn by a couple of different heroes in the Marvel Universe. She's going to be playing, most likely, the Carol Danvers character, who was in the United States Air Force, and she gets her powers by being affected by some alien technology.
As they all do.
Exactly. She can fly. She has super strength, super durability, super endurance, and she can shoot lasers out of her hands.
She's like Captain America on steroids.
Kind of. Captain America could shoot lasers and fly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's the steroid part.
Yeah, so Legendary character in the Marvel Universe. I love the idea of her being cast. Room was great. She definitely deserved the Oscar for that.
Yeah, it just goes to show that another Oscar-winning actress is ready to be a superhero.
Yeah, and that's my favorite part. Like, because some actors, like when they win the Academy Award, kind of like Jennifer Lawrence, they become too big for these movies. They're like, oh, I'm an actor. I only do films that really stretch my ability as a thespian.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if, like, she's like, yeah. Like, and she says that she kind of wants to do it, or at least those are reports. She's interested in the role. And why shouldn't she be? It's fun. She's going to be one of the first she'll be the first standalone female superhero film for Marvel. And she's a great actress.
And, I mean, she's going to get paid, too.
Yeah.
She's going to get paid well. That could be another, driving force for her wanting to do this movie.
Yeah. The other reason that I really like her as a casting, and just, I've mentioned in the past, my number one choice is still Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible Ghost Nation, well, it's not Ghost Nation, I just combined Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That was our words.
Yeah. I mean, they're
basically the same.
Yeah. As much as I like the idea that they're not like Mission Impossible 6, it does get confusing as hell.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies.
Yeah, but she would be my number one choice still. I just like her physicality, and I think she could bring something cool to the role. But with Brie Larson, the biggest thing you get that is kind of desperately needed right now in the Marvel Universe, she's young. Much like Jamie Bell that I mentioned earlier.
She's very young.
Yeah, so you could get 15 movies out of her. Like if she does the Downey Jr. and she's like, oh, I really like doing this.
Yeah. Paychecks are good. Pretty easy work.
Yeah. So she could be fun to have. You have any thoughts?
I think it's a little weird that she's only a few years older than us. Just looking at her age.
That she's just
born in '89.
She's that much more successful than we are, and she's just a couple years older.
Yeah, it really hurts. Feels like I've done nothing with my life.
Well, you've got a podcast and a spare room in a house that I rent, so we're going places.
You gotta start from the bottom down. You gotta work your way up.
Let us know what you guys think of the casting. Do you like Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, or who would your pick be? Send us an email to ihbpodcast@gmail.com. Sticking with the comic book news, we here at IHB talked a few episodes ago about the upcoming Flash film losing its director, Seth Grahame-Smith. Thank God. It now looks like dope, as in cool, like that's dope, and dope, as in the movie. Director Rick Famuyiwa.
Not bad. Pretty good pronunciation.
Yeah, well, I went phonetic. It was a gamble. Is in early talks to direct the Scarlet Speedster's first feature-length debut. Do you like the potential new director, James?
I wonder if this is backlash and them switching directors because of Batman vs. Superman.
I wouldn't be surprised. Unfortunately for the viewers who are listening to this, not going to be a great discussion because James and I did not see Dope. It's on both of our lists on Netflix. We just have not gotten through it yet. The Office is just taking up too much of my time. Michael Scott, you genius. But I did read reviews on Dope, and I have talked to a lot of people who have seen it. And the trailers and the probably 20 minutes of the movie I have seen, I really liked. The best thing about it is, especially for this director and the upcoming Flash movie, is it was focused around a younger generation. And the Flash in the DC universe is young. Ezra Miller, I think, can't be more than like 25 at most. He's probably even younger than that. He might be like 23. That is a good sign, seeing as he's worked with young actors before. He's gotten the most out of them.
24.
24. Nice. Right in between the two numbers I said. Genius. So I think that's a good sign. The other thing is Dope was a fun movie. It definitely had some levity to it, and the idea that he's going to bring that to a Flash film is nice. If you guys did see Dope, let us know what you thought of the film. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Does his potential signing on for the Flash film make you even more excited for that movie? I've told you a couple times where to go, so go to one of those places.
Yeah.
It appears Star Wars The Force Awakens star John Boyega...
You stealing my shit?
Maybe. Did I not read the...
You read Dope.
Did I read Dope?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you... go ahead if you want to read it.
Oh, my words are just so much prettier than yours, James. You know what they say.
Your words may be, but my face is way prettier than yours.
Wah, wah, wah. And the confidence goes in the toilet.
You started, man. You started bashing from the beginning.
I did.
All right. It appears Star Wars The Force Awakens star John Boyega has found his next project. The former stormtrooper will star in Pacific Rim 2 as the son of Idris Elba's character, Stacker Pentecost. No other cast members were mentioned in the press release, and the film is scheduled to start production by the end of the year. What do you think of Boyega in the role?
Normally, we're pretty positive around here, and it's something I would assume viewers are like, does these guys hate anything? I hate this.
I knew it was going to take a dark turn.
Yeah, it did. Like, maybe it was predictable, but I don't like it. I like the idea of Boyega being cast in this movie. I like him as an actor, and I think he could bring something really cool to the movie. I hate the fact that he's Stacker Pentecost / Idris Elba's son. They could have just made him another character, because it creates plot holes in the first film. Okay, how come the kid was never mentioned? And then after that, we were just talking about Boyega is 23 in real life, so even if you age him down in the movie and make him like 18, is Stacker Pentecost just a bad father? Did he never mention him? Is this a kid he never knew about? Is something like that? So it makes me wonder, like, okay, where was this guy? Then after that, you run into the problem of John Boyega is a funny guy. I don't think he can do that, like, super serious Idris Elba type stuff. Like, when Idris Elba stands up on the Jaeger foot and is like, "We are canceling the apocalypse," you get chills. John Boyega did that, I would chuckle.
Yeah.
So I have issues with that. What do you think?
I'm agreeing with you 100%. I don't know if he's right for this type of movie. He could definitely be that comedy person, that actor that brings humor to a action heavy, darker film. But I don't think he should be the guy that's supposed to pump you up and make you, get goosebumps and the hairs in the back of your neck stand. I don't think he has that ability.
Yeah. And it also, like, I know you're a big Sons of Anarchy fan. I'm a big Sons of Anarchy fan. One of my favorite parts of the first film was Charlie Hunnam. I love Charlie Hunnam as an actor.
Yes.
The fact that they're casting a big name like this to come into this movie, are they going to not have him come back? Because Hunnam's got a lot of stuff on his plate right now, and you wonder if they're just going to be like, yeah, we're going to go in a different direction. And then if you go into the specifics of the Pacific Rim movie, the Jaegers take 2 people to pilot. So are you going to team John Boyega up with another new guy? Or is he going to become Charlie Hunnam's partner? Or is Charlie Hunnam not going to be there and he's going to become, I don't remember her name in the film, but the adopted daughter of Stacker Pentecost? And how come she never mentions John Boyega in the first film? It just creates so many weird holes by having it be that connected universe. Also, makes you wonder how many years in the future this movie's going to be. Like, is it going to be like 20 years after the events of the first film? I'm excited for the movie overall because I like giant fighting robots.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah, but I wanted Charlie Hunnam, and they got a good director, well, a good showrunner at least, in Stephen Knight. He's the one who did Daredevil Season 1. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of potential there. I just don't like the idea of Funny Man Boyega being Stacker Pentecost's son.
Yeah, it's one of those things we'll have to wait and see. We could bash it all we want, but it's probably still going to happen.
Oh, it's definitely going to happen. That movie made like $400 million in China.
Boyega being, a semi-main character that plays a serious.
Yeah. I hear you. What do you guys think of the potential casting? Is that where you want to see John Boyega go next? Don't forget, he's still got at least one more Star Wars movie in him. Who knows if he's going to bite the dust in that one. Let us know what you think of the casting, and did you even like the first Pacific Rim? Gamer fans everywhere may have reason to put down the controller and head to the theaters in a few years as Variety is also reporting that the record-breaking Tom Clancy game, The Division, may be getting a live-action film soon. Even more exciting is that favorite of the IHB podcast, Jake Gyllenhaal, is attached to produce and star in the film. The studio is currently searching for a writer to adapt a script. Jim, what are your thoughts on the potential film?
I think it could be good. I definitely like Gyllenhaal in the movie, and I think it helps that he's producing it too.
Yeah.
He's got more invested in it, and it probably bring a better performance from him. And I had to look up the story because I've never played the video game. Apparently, it's a smallpox pandemic transmitted by a virus planted on banknotes, sweeps through New York City. It feels a lot like I Am Legend.
Yeah, that's a good pull. I don't think there are any zombies in the game, though. I think it's all just human, and I was going to say it feels like Terminator meets Mad Max, but
Okay.
I Am Legend actually might be better because it's set in the city, and there's not all like the outlandish, like people wearing kilts and weird spiky shoulder pads.
Yeah. I think I'm sure a video game movie will do well again. I really like Gyllenhaal in the role. I think it's a good fit for him. The real question is, who's he going to play? He's probably going to be the lead, right?
You would assume so.
I know in the read it says he's to star in it, but I don't know if that's the main role or not.
Yeah. Like you, I have never played the game, but my roommate does own it, and I've watched him play it several times. And it's a fun-looking game. It's a giant open world. It takes place in downtown Manhattan, and it has that Terminator feel. Like, in the opening scenes of the Terminator, when Kyle Reese is walking through the tunnels of, like, their new city type thing, and, like, he has to knock on doors, and everything takes place underground, and when you go above, you're fighting. That's what the game is. Like, there are these safe points to where you go, and they're kind of like marketplaces, but also like strongholds to where you're like, this is the Division, we're here to save you, this is a safe place. But then once you step outside those doors, all hell breaks loose, and it's very I Am Legend, to where like, you got to be ducking behind cars the entire time, and so it's a cool game. And there's a lot of potential for world building in this movie, and that's my favorite part of it. Plus, it's hard to bet against Gyllenhaal. Although he does not have a great history of video game movies. Prince of Persia.
I knew you were going to say that.
I actually don't hate the movie.
I don't either.
Yeah, it might just because I have a entirely overly stalker-ish love of Gemma Artieri.
Yep, I would agree with that 100%.
Yes, but what do you guys think of The Division? Have you played The Division? Is it something that you would want to see turned into a video game? I probably should have asked my roommate before we recorded this to see what his thoughts are. But my guess is he'll say he's a fan. I know he likes the video game, so always potential there.
Next up, an exclusive report from Variety. Passengers and the imitation game director, Morton Tildum, is in talks to direct an adaptation of Lauren Buick's novel The Shining Girls for MRC, who will develop and finance with Leonardo DiCaprio's Appian Way producing. The book revolves around a serial killer in 1930s Chicago who stumbles upon a time-traveling device. Dominator, thoughts and opinions?
I don't have a whole lot to say about this movie because, it's just getting into development. They're just signing on a director, so there's not a whole lot of news. I thought the concept was insane, though. Like, the idea that a serial killer could get his hands on a time-traveling device and then jump through time just killing people, that would be amazing. Like, the consequences you could face. Like, this isn't just him going forward. This is him going back in time as well. So he can really affect the time stream. And so I really liked it. The other reason I want to put it on is because it's through Leo's production company, and it would be so cool to see him in this movie. I don't think he's going to, because he's set to play in that Devil in the White City, where that also takes place in the turn of the century Chicago World's Fair, where he's going to play a serial killer. So I'm going to be doubling down on too many 1930s era serial killers. But just the concept I thought was really cool. What about you?
I agree. It seems like a pretty broad plot they can go with. I mean, a time-traveling serial killer could open a lot of doors. And they could, go all over the place with this one. Going to the future, going to the past. It'll be interesting to see, and it's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and then also the director, that's interesting too, because The Imitation Game was solid. I didn't think it was amazing or anything like that, but Passengers has a lot of potential. The upcoming Chris Pratt, Jennifer Lawrence space comedy drama-ish, maybe.
It's got a lot of things going for it.
Yeah, so when I see that, I'll know, like, okay, this guy can definitely take on a film like The Shining Girls of MRC. Although I wouldn't be surprised if that's supposed to be pronounced The Shining Girls of Mercy. Just sounds better, but this is going to have to get a better title, because that's a shitty title for a movie.
I'm sure they'll
Great for a book,
work on that.
Not for a title. All right, so that's the end of our official news section, but now we're going to go into quick hitters that are just short little stories that we didn't really have time to go into in order to keep these shows nice and tight. But they're just going to be real quick, like a punch from Ali. Seems fitting after the passing of the great one. And to lead us off, we're going to go with Cate Blanchett is in talks to join the Ocean 11 spinoff, which we reported on a couple weeks ago about Jennifer Lawrence also being added. Elizabeth Banks will no longer be directing Pitch Perfect 3. TJ Miller has been cast in Ready Player One as a chat room troll named iRock. Bill Skarsgård will play the Pennywise clown from the It reboot. And one of the best movies of last year, Sicario, will be getting a sequel entitled Soldado, which is Spanish for the soldier. Jimmy's sister-in-law can back me up on that, hopefully.
I hope you made it all up.
Yeah. So, James, of these quick hitters, which one do you want to talk about?
Cate Blanchett in talks for Ocean 11.
Yeah.
Spinoff. I'm all in on it. I think it's a great move because the other two are Jennifer Lawrence and
Sandra Bullock. Those
Sandra
are the other
Bullock.
two that have been confirmed. Yeah.
They've got the young, attractive Jennifer Lawrence, and I think it's good going with Cate Blanchett could play that older, wiser, I've done more heists than all of you role, which I think fits well, and she's a terrific actress.
Yeah.
Another Academy Award winner.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be. The studio or the makers of the film are saying that nobody's really they're not trying to duplicate the roles from Ocean's 11. And when we talked about Jennifer Lawrence, we were like, "Oh, she would make a great Brad Pitt." But now the casting of Cate Blanchett, it really opens it up to all right, Sandra Bullock is Clooney, Blanchett is Pitt, and Lawrence is Matt Damon.
Yep.
So that would fit really well, and I like the idea of all three of them in this movie. I also like the idea of Cate Blanchett in a little bit more of a fun film. Mm-hmm. She does a lot of heavy work, so I think opening up her comedy side could even make her a better actress. So
I agree.
I'm in. I like your pick. For me personally, there's a lot of these that are good. I would love to talk about T.J. Miller being cast in Ready Player One just because him as a troll sounds funny. But I'm going to go with Elizabeth Banks no longer directing Pitch Perfect 3. This is mainly because of scheduling conflict. She has a couple of movies, and then also she's directing another film, and Pitch Perfect 3 is on a tight schedule. I think they want it to come out next year. But I saw Pitch Perfect 2, and it's not a very good movie, but I think the directing made it worse. It could have been solid, but I did not like her directing style. She does way too many quick cuts. She doesn't do a good job of really framing, personally. I don't think she does a solid job at story building either. It felt all very pushed together, so I'm glad she's not directing it. Because I think the Pitch Perfect movies are fun. And she, to be honest, not even in an acting role, was my least favorite part of Pitch Perfect 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, probably better for Pitch Perfect that she doesn't do it. I don't know. I don't like the idea that they're going to rush it because I feel like that's what they did with the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what it is.
Yeah. Plus, this opens her up to the 7 Power Rangers sequels.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right. So which one of the stories that we talked about do you guys want to know more about? Go ahead and Google away. And Google always has the answers. And let us know on our Facebook page which one you like the most and which one bothers you the most. And now we head into a segment favorite by all of our fans, at least the ones who talk to me. It is the Pick It or Kick It segment, where James and I will each choose one story that we really liked and are excited to hear more about, the Pick It, or the Kick It, where we wish we could stomp a mud hole in that bitch. All right, James, what is your Pick It for the week?
My Pick It for this week is Cate Blanchett being in talks for Ocean's 11 spinoff.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about it a second ago.
Yeah,
but
and just talking about it made me like it even more.
Yeah, I love this idea. I'm totally with you on that.
I'm just curious what other actresses they're going to choose.
Yeah.
And then who's going to be their antagonist.
Yeah, they're Andy Garcia.
Yeah, it'll be good. I wonder if it'll be a guy or a male actor. Should be a female, but I'm just curious.
If it's not a female, I say you gotta go George Clooney. If they're not doing the shared universe thing, if they are doing the shared universe, I think you gotta go female. I think it would be weird if they did a guy.
Yep, and then it could be even more interesting if they have some cameos from the remake.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah.
My Pick It for the week is the potential of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel.
Another good choice.
Yeah, great actress, great role, potential for a long-running series where we get to see her in multiple films, and she's gotten an Academy Award. You show up to the set of a Marvel film, and just like, boom, golden statue.
How about them apples?
Yeah, talk about them apples. Yeah, exactly. So
I like it just because we're going to get another female in the Marvel universe, which is needed.
Yeah, I agree. How about the one you're going to kick?
I'm going to kick this one as far as I possibly can. John Boyega, Pacific Rim 2. No bueno.
No?
Nope. I don't like him as Stacker Pentecost's son, and I don't think he's got the seriousness to play this role.
The one I'm going to kick is the Rogue One reshoots. Even though I said that they might be a bigger deal than people are letting on, overall, I don't think it's going to affect my enjoyment of the film very much. So, I'm going to kick the Rogue One reshoots.
Smart choice. I agree with you, too.
Nice. Let us know what your Pick It and Kick It's are for the week. Out of everything we talked about, do it in the comment section below. That way you can let everybody else know your picks as well. All right, so that was our show for the day. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you like this episode, please subscribe to the I've Had Better Podcast Network here on YouTube. And also follow us on Twitter at IHB Podcast. And on Facebook, go like the I've Had Better Podcast page. James, tell the people where you reside on the internet.
Well, on the interweb, I'm on Twitter at _Kaiser_Soze or on Facebook as Jimmy Langos. And please check out the website, www.ihbpodcast.com. And please listen to all these episodes on iTunes and subscribe, and don't forget to rate us.
Yeah, and you can go and find us just by going to iTunes and search IHB Movies, IHB Podcast, or I've Had Better Podcast. All three of those will take you right to us. As always, I am Dominic Demore. You can follow me on Twitter at Dom Demore, that's DOMDEMORE, or on Facebook at Dominic Demore, that's with an IC, not an ICK. James, how's the show this week?
I've had better.
Good night, everybody.